It's
Everything's
like trying to make off pudding with a shag carpet. What?
What? I'm sorry. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Starward Bound. It's just your average night here on Tuesday on the WebDM Twitch, and we're being who we are. So let's get through sponsors. Tabletop Loot, tabletoploot.com, WebDM 15. That's going to get you 15% off those dice. It's going to get you 15% off those mugs and those t-shirts. You're welcome. There's that. Next, we're going to go around to cast and crew, see how everybody's doing tonight. Then we're going to do a quick recap, and then we're going to jump right back into the action, because that's exactly where we left off. So first and foremost, Kiana, how are you?
I'm doing okay. This is my second last week of classes, so my brain is mush would probably be a good way of putting it. Super tired, but I'm here with the crew going back into space, because what better way to get some energy back than doing some shenanigans and solving some mysteries, maybe? I don't know. Hopefully we'll figure things out. We've been chasing like the tail of the mystery for like a few episodes now. God damn it, we're so close. But yeah, I play E44, everyone's favorite murder robo, Warforged Storm Barbarian, who's just here to help out and do what they can and maybe kick some ass.
Well, I think the ass kicking, it's going to go without saying. I can't wait to see it. Trey, first off, publicly, thank you for recommending Love, Death, and Robots. Second off, everybody watch Love, Death, and Robots. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Yo, I'm good. I'm still coming off the high of Love, Death, and Robots. So this is a great opportunity for me to take this break to sit here and be Starward Bound with the rest of my wayward crew. And I have no idea what's going to happen this particular week. I'm just hoping that, damn it, if my mama don't stop getting kidnapped. This doesn't make no sense. I'm gonna have to like put a leash on her or something. Well, anyways, his Trey. I play Daku, the half-elf Kinsey monk that likes to smoke and paint, and watch Netflix anime from time to time. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yes, most definitely. Emma, how are you doing this evening?
I am good. I am so happy to be back here. I was sad to miss last week, but my sweet boy Trogdor Burninator was sick and he needed his mommy. I am wearing my bathrobe today, in part because I am cold, and in other part because we've been playing this game for a year, and had it been in real life, I would have worn my bathrobe by like week 3. So I figured it was about time that I got comfortable, because Pruitt knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I would have taken a nap halfway through at some point.
You would have made some like cinnamon rolls or something like that.
I would have made so many cinnamon rolls, tons of cinnamon rolls and cakes, and maybe just dinner, and Josh Davis would be there and he would eat like all my leftovers. All of them. They're there for. It's for Josh Davis. I love you, brother. I play Hildegard Hilgard. I have no way to segue to that. I play Hildegard Hilgard. She is a dwarven grave cleric. I am excited to be back with her and the rest of you.
Most definitely. And last but not least, Greg, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, my friend. I'm looking forward to this. I just remembered how we ended last session. I realize a long rest probably would have helped out a bit, but you know what? Why change the formula? We are a year into this. It's worked so far. Fast and loose, everybody. Ellery Toss Bottle, your halfling arcane trickster, ready to play it. Fast and loose tonight. Let's do it.
Yes, you are. And let's see. Let's have a quick recap so we can hop right back in. So the party decided to investigate the military. They did, and that set off a chain reaction, which led General Toma to start a coup using his massive golden bird, Raptor Omega. He attacked the Royal Palace Tower. The crew, the party here, alongside some of the Queen's Guard, intercepted the would-be attackers, set the Queen south for safety, for a safe house, and managed to, by very unorthodox means, board the craft, so to speak. I mean, hey, sometimes you just go through the windshield.
I don't know what you're expecting through it. You
Well,
just said windshield.
It's true. It's true. I mean, hey, however you got to do it. I loved it. It was amazing. And managed to subdue the general, bring the bird down, stop the attack. But only afterwards, in interrogating him, they discovered some mind magic was afoot. And this is not the first time they had sensed that. Seen remnants of some enchantment, some charms worked. And the general himself seemed confused that he had actually done what he just did. But he did it. And so Ellery, being Ellery, realized, wait a minute, and goes outside, checks, and sure enough, there is a flight of these eagles that were attacking, except they're far south of the tower, and he sets off in pursuit, relaying messages back through puff, puff, give, give, and left-hand side, back to the crew to follow up. But Ellery, being Ellery, strikes out alone, the rogue that he is. And that is where we are. As Ellery, you are flying Chappie Sinclair. You're flying his metal feathers off. I mean, his chassis is like vibrating because you're pushing him as fast as you can go. But it has been a hectic chase across the city south into the occupied residential sectors. Because remember, up north, that part of the city was not yet inhabited. And it's after a few minutes chase, darting between buildings, trying to keep this flight of eagles in sight. You're not really sure were there 4, were there 5? You're not positive on that. But after breaking out of kind of midtown, so to speak, it gives way to smaller buildings on the periphery of the town. And it is there that in the distance you think you see a couple of eagles landed on top of one of these probably a 4-story structure. You'll be there. It's going to be a few rounds before you're there, but that is what you see. And in your mind, you hear, Ellery, come. Let us see each other face to face.
Okay.
And you approach. As you're approaching, you see a few of the eagles mounted by riders and take off, but there is one eagle left on the roof of the building, and one rider not quite mounting his eagle. You see his blue robes kind of flapping in the wind a bit, and it's almost as if he is waiting on you.
Okay, I'm going to dive in with Chappie Sinclair.
Okay.
Fast and
Okay. So you're diving in. and he is standing his ground on top of the building. Are you diving straight in for attack? Are you going to land?
No, he's not going into attack. He's cognizant that somebody that's that brazen probably has something that can stop him from doing that. So he's going to go to the edge of the building and hop off Chappie Sinclair, but again, send Chappie Sinclair in a Tweety Bird fashion around the top of the building, maybe a floor or two down, just below eye level of anybody standing on top.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, Chappie just kind of falls back off the edge of the building and swoops around, begins his circuit. And this man is standing across the width of this building, just staring right through you. His eyes are almost colorless. You're not really sure if it's like it's not silver. It's kind of an off-white, very unsettling. You don't really see any hair under his blue robes, but he does have a very kind of statuesque look about him. He's a little over 6 feet tall, and he just kind of stands there, his hands kind of folded in front of him, steepled a bit.
Hi.
Is my father still alive? The general.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh. Take care of him regardless. So, here we are.
Here we are.
Where are your friends?
Oh, they're about.
They're about? Well, I at least wanted to see you face to face, one of you. But I hope to see the rest of you very soon. You should tell your friends. Come up to the Skyforge.
Skyforge.
And he kind of like looks up towards the sun. And you, at this time of day, you can kind of see it making its revolution around the other side. It's full daytime now, but you can kind of catch just the glint of it. And he looks right at you, Ellery. We will see each other soon.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hang out, that's fine. I'm just here for my buddy's mom.
And you see him kind of like look back at the eagle, and you see a form kind of draped over the back of his waiting eagle. Yes. Yes.
Is that her? Oh,
actually,
thanks. I'll take her.
Well, I'm sure you and your friends will try, but I need her for admittance, so I will be taking her now. Yes, admittance. You don't just pop into the Skyforge. One must have a ticket, so to speak.
Most tickets get punched.
You are clever.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I must be off. But you, Ellery.
Yeah.
And he looks right at you. You should just wait for your friends.
I'm not going to look you directly in the eyes because she did some shit to your father.
But Ellery, can I get a wisdom save from you? At disadvantage.
At disadvantage, you motherfucker, you. Okay, is this against? This is against being frightened, of course.
No.
So okay.
This is a charm effect.
Wisdom save. Okay. First one is 11, 14. Second one is a 17, 3, dirty 20. So 14 is the lowest.
And Ellery, he just says, you should wait for your friends, and turns his back on you, and goes to mount the eagle. And you're just like, okay. And you're just gonna hang out here until your friends get here. As he mounts his eagle and takes off, and you're just like, yeah. I mean, it just seems like a good suggestion. And you watch him kind of fly into the distance.
I know I have to stay here, but can I say anything? Am I allowed to say anything?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Hey, I'll wait right here. As soon as I'm done doing this, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'll see ya. As I
And
yell in my house with my kids around.
just yelling and cussing. And yeah, so you just kind of hang out there, and it's another few minutes before your compatriots. Well, y'all were relayed the message that Ellery was going after. So I sorry for assuming. Do y'all pursue?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't. Sorry, I Anyway, it's a few minutes later, and y'all come up. One of the Queen's Guard is with you, and he's kind of directing you. He's like, yeah, well, they took her to the safe house, which would be up here, just to the south. And sure enough, Ellery, you're just kind of waiting there, and after a while, you see another 4 eagles coming up, and y'all see Ellery kind of sitting on this roof of this building. Next, his eagles making a circuit a couple floors down.
Yeah, Dakota moves quickly off the bird and looks Ellery dead in the eyes. And, where is she?
The son, the blue robes, shithead, had her on the back of his eagle and went to the Skyforge, and he points. Told me to wait here.
Wait. No. We must go to the forge.
Oh, that's what I was thinking too, but much like my dick, I felt like I was in the brig here on the top of the building and could not progress. I think I have been mind magicked.
Is she well? Does she look okay?
I don't know, buddy. She was draped over the back of the eagle. I assume he said he needed her for admittance. One does not just walk into the Skyforge.
Admittance.
And he turned into Ned Stark. It was the weirdest thing.
Hey Prue, out of the Queen's Guard, who's with us that would know about the Skyforge? Are like a bunch of lackeys with us?
Zico came with you.
Okay.
He wanted to see this through, and he's just like, I've never been. People usually don't go up there. Like the Master Builder has been up there once or twice in her life. The Forge Master who resides there, she I think the last time she came down was at least like a century ago. There's a lot of mysteries and myths surrounding her.
Yeah, and Dakota would look pleading to his commandant and say, "We must
Commodore?
know." The Commodore. The Commodore.
Knows nothing.
Who did you say knew about the Forge crew?
The Master Builder.
The Master Builder.
Yeah, Master Builder Shorna. She, she's y'all talked to her a little bit in the meeting. She's like in her 50s. No, monk. No. And according to him, she's been there a couple times.
It's, if I recall, it's the place where they, like, some people get something akin to clerical magic from things that dwell up there. Correct?
She was the one that first taught us the way to instill spirits into our Warforged, and she oversees the building of the plates that then come down.
All right. Well, Is there any reason we can't go up there right now?
I think we need this Shauna lady.
I mean, usually there's a whole decorum that must be followed for her to go up. It's very tedious. It hasn't happened in the time I've been part of the Queen's Guard, but I mean, the situation being what it is, damn the rules.
Yes. Damn the rules.
I will go with you. I will speak for you. The Queen is in peril. I am her guard. I'm trying to fulfill my duties. So I say we go.
I'm with you, Dakul.
All right. Yeah, with that, with absolute purpose, Dakul walks back to his bird, mounts it, and gets ready to head off in that direction.
Okay. So y'all all hop on your birds and begin heading up. Now, if y'all will recall, way back when y'all were still in the Nerosphere and y'all had to approach Neros 1, you had to do so kind of in the shadow of the planet itself. And basically, Zico, he kind of explains, like, we're going to have to swing around and approach in the Forge's shadow, otherwise we'll be burnt alive by the fires of Vorn Sky himself. And, you know, he says this name that you've heard on the lips of some people before, usually calling out in some kind of prayer. Y'all begin heading skyward. And it's going to take a wee bit of time to get there. You are flying basically, distances are a little obtuse, but you are kind of like just outside the orbital radius of the second planet. That's how big this Dyson sphere is. So you basically have to fly to the first planet's radius on these things. But y'all pick up speed as you climb, and you realize you kind of breach the atmosphere of the inside of the sphere. And then it kind of gives way to a lighter, it's not quite what you recognize as space, but your birds begin flying much faster. And in the distance, you think you can make out the contrails and the lights of the other eagles that were already heading up to the Skyforge. And they, you know, they're more than a few minutes ahead of you. But after about an hour, you manage to get within what will be pretty close striking range of the Skyforge. And as you approach, its shape kind of comes into focus. It basically looks like a pyramid built with the large side facing, or the flat side facing the sun itself, and the point facing towards you. And it's built, it looks like it's built all from adamantine. It's this kind of dark silver threaded with kind of greenish modeling through it. And as you approach the very kind of tip of the pyramid, you see it had already cracked open for the other eagles, and it started to wind close as y'all were approaching. But as you start to get within kind of range of it, it's almost sealed, and then you see it crack back open and kind of roll to the side, revealing an inner light. And you can actually see, it looks like this pyramid is actually hollow, probably, because when it cracks open, you can see the sun like through its entirety on the other side as work continues. And so as you approach, is there anything y'all want to do or formulate as you're approaching this thing?
I wanted to know real quick, with that travel time that we spent, be considered a short rest?
Yes, I will say that it would be a short rest. It took over an hour. Yeah. So any last minute spells, preparations, stratagems.
We expecting a more or less immediate engagement potentially? If that's the case, I could top up people's hit points in this time if anybody needs that, or give you some more temp HP if anybody feels the need.
If you're handing out temp HP, I will take some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I will give temp HP. I'm going to cast a. Is there a reason to not do a 4th level? No, I'm going to do a 4th level aid. So.
Oh, well, that's raising the max HP.
Oh, wait. That's not the one.
That's better than temp HP.
Yeah. Well, it gives you. But it gives you temp.
Well,
also. Well, it's each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
so even when you heal, it can go back to that higher maximum.
For 8
now
hours.
you put false life on top of that.
Yeah, I can't do it because somebody was casting spells like candy.
It was Halloween last episode, and Jim Davis was just like, everybody gets a Snickers.
Full size.
That's the way it should be.
None of that bite-sized bullshit either. Family-size, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
King size. The sharing pack. That's how we roll. All right, yeah. So everybody gets 10 more. I'm gonna cast it on the 3 of you and not me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's all I can do right now. That would be super useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extra 25% hit points for me, so I appreciate it a lot.
Wait, yes. It's 15 hit points. I said it wrong.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm. Does that increase? How much does that increase Ellery? Is that like 30% of your?
Third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's good. Gonna need it.
I feel 4 feet tall.
4 feet tall and arrow proof.
Right. Do you guys want me to go in first to see before? I don't know if I say that, but I'll go in first to see if you like sneak ahead before we start casting like Spirit Guardians or anything like that. The a-hole knows we're coming.
Yes.
Says Greg. The a-hole knows we're coming, says Ellery.
If you want to go at first, that's all right. I hope he doesn't make you stab us. That'd be bad.
Yeah. We could all go together. Ellery's always going to go first. Greg doesn't want it, but okay.
Okay. So Ellery goes first. Ellery, you kind of breach the top of this pyramid. And it's a fairly massive structure. You would estimate being here at the top, and like now that you kind of get to the top that has slid open and you are about to enter, you can see like there are what appear to be like Warforged like workshops in like a step pattern, like an inverted ziggurat on the inside of this thing. And then in the center, like in the distance, there is like a bridge that like comes together from the sides and meets in the middle, and you can see like a small structure there. And in the interim, in between, inside this thing are broken up pieces of like earth. And as you are looking around, you can see Warforged like mining the earth and like taking these huge veins of like adamantine and like working them and pushing them closer to the bottom of the pyramid, closer to the star itself, where you would assume that the actual forging of this into like these large plates to create this sphere. They just do it about a mile size plate at a time, maybe connect a few and then send them off. You've seen them on the other end being attached when y'all visited the foundry. And you can see in the distance basically one being formulated just on the other side of that structure in the middle of the bridge, kind of at the bottom of the pyramid. And it is there that you see the eagles they've already made their circuit through kind of the rubble field inside this pyramid. It's not too dense right now, but you see that they have made their way almost, they are almost to that landing kind of at the base of where the pyramid would be.
Ellery would relate all this back, whether it's through, could Puff Puff Give and left hand side even have kept up with us, or could I have dismissed him and brought him back? Is that
would be yeah. So I don't mind having the extra dimensional pocket be with you. So
okay, yeah. So so he would just relate all this, everything he sees, and as you describe the narrative, Elmer's just going to send it back to everybody else, and he's not going to go in unless Hilda tells him to. So he's going to wait.
This is the most obedient Ellery's ever been. I'm terrified.
I am too. You hear from Puff Puff as he finishes relaying the message.
That's the best part about this is we always have to get our messages from these fart clouds. So it's not like we're talking together. It's like a game of telephone. It's the best.
With Jim Gaffigan. That's great.
And now it looks like there's a thing down there and they're headed towards it. But be careful, Hilda. I warned Ellery. His mind is strong. Real strong.
Well, so's mine, Puff Puff.
Oh, I know.
Keep a lookout.
Just trying to help.
I know, and I appreciate you, Puff Puff. And Give and left hand side.
Oh, well, thank you.
Super helpful. Oh my God. I haven't heard that one yet.
No, I've done Give. He's the redneck. I have not done left hand side yet because he hasn't spoken.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. Don't these guys feed off of psionic energy?
Like negative psionic energy?
Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you is they're terrified of this guy. Like he scares them. And they normally you would think they feed off that.
Like scares them in a way that they're not sure that they can like an all-you-can-eat buffet is daunting, or that they are terrified to partake of it. Like they won't want it.
If you ask them, like Puff Puff would tell you, he's like, Ellery, I could try, but it's. Have you ever tasted evil, Ellery?
Yes.
Well, I didn't like it. You obviously did, but when he went by and I tried to reach out, it wasn't good.
All right, buddy. Let's not try that. You guys stay in a holding pattern.
Glad.
Stay frosty.
I think we ought to all go in it together at the same time. At the very least, we can keep eyes on each other and see if anything happens to any of us.
I agree. If this man has this spectacular mind power, what tactics shall we use against him?
Well, I can give one person a temporary boost to try to resist what he does.
E404.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah. I think I'm going to do that for E44 because it'd be fucking terrifying. Extra terrifying. No offense, Ellery.
I've been on the other end of E404 kicking the shit out of me.
Exactly.
It is not good.
Yeah.
That was the most heroic thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I see it.
I'm still very sorry about that.
Don't worry about it, best friend. We're all right.
Once we get close, like that, we're getting off of our birds.
Mhm.
Hilda's gonna cast guidance on E44.
Okay.
And
All right.
refresh it
So,
every round or so if I need to.
as y'all start entering this pyramid, okay, where the kind of the tip is that kind of slid out of the way, and y'all go in. It's about like I said, it's about a mile to the base. Okay, it's pretty huge, and you're weaving through, and at the square of the pyramid itself, about halfway down horizontally, that's where the bridge comes in, and then there is a kind of a cylindrical structure at the very center. So where would y'all like to go? Straight for the whatever that landing is, or would you like to go for the actual bridge on either side of it? Because they went straight for the structure itself.
Would landing on the bridge give us like some sort of tactical advantage? Like they wouldn't have line of sight at us if we did that.
You're not sure from this direction. Like you don't see any kind of building, so you would assume that there's something on the other side of it facing the sun itself.
I got
but from this direction, and also it's kind of hard to see because you're literally staring in the sun.
Yeah.
Part of that is blocked from the like kind of the panel that's being built. So there's that at least. But I mean, it would be a matter of if you wanted to just come right up to the kind of cylindrical structure at the very center, or just if you wanted to come up on the landing, which you would assume is like an actual like walkway that comes into it from either side. That's all I was just asking.
Where do you want me, boss?
Seems like 6 one, half dozen the other, doesn't it?
Charge? We usually do well just charging.
Yeah, let's just fucking charge.
So you just want to head straight for the structure itself?
Yep.
Okay. So you head straight there. And as you kind of reach the lip of this, question, it's not quite a like cylindrical, like quite cylindrical. Once you get close, it's a little bit of a ovoid. Is that right? Anyway, what the Earth is. Do you want to land near where one of the walkways comes in, or kind of they come in at basically like 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock to this thing as you're approaching it, or do you want to land somewhere else around the rim?
What do you guys think? I am not a very visual thinker, and so I struggle with this sort of thing sometimes. Visualizing exactly what would be good to do in the situation.
Is there any other entrances that appear to be like other than, I'm assuming there's an entrance at either bridge, like hub?
Yeah. From the underside, because basically as you're getting closer, this looks like the underside of a landing, right? Like it's mostly flat. Give me a perception check, actually, now that you're close enough.
All of us?
Yeah, everybody's there.
I have a 9. Tell me everything.
I rolled a nat 20, so that's a 26.
I got 14. Well, you got the 20, so we should.
And 19.
Okay, so I'll say this. Hilda, you definitely notice at kind of near the center, it looks like there is some kind of doorway, but you don't see any kind of apparatus to open it. But it does look like some kind of doorway that kind of turns probably and reveals a portal through. You could get closer and investigate, or you definitely kind of see there is some kind of railing as you're approaching around the edges of this landing. So again, you would think, maybe try to land near one of the bridges, or you could check out that door.
I'll point out the door to everybody and say, I think that's interesting.
Can we check it out?
Yeah.
To the door. Let's go, Chappie Glare.
So yeah, you spur Chappie into action and you zip closer to the door. And as you approach it, it gets larger, and you're still approaching. And it's probably about the width of, you would think, a football field. And you see little pits of like rock and stuff that have hit it. And as you draw closer, you can see like maybe this is where they probably funnel through like the bits to go out and be worked on. And you definitely see some kind of control panel off to the side. But what languages do you speak?
Hold on. Wait for this great revelation. Common and halfling.
Okay, you don't recognize the language that is on this panel.
Okay.
Dwarvish, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Yep, Nicole, you don't recognize what's on this panel.
All right, so here we are.
Sorry. Trogdor was talking to me through the door. Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Gnomish, any of those?
Yeah, none of y'all recognize the writing that's on this. It has very kind of flowing text to it. It almost flickers.
I so want E404 to have been like Abyssal, Celestial. Like, whoa!
And languages.
I wish.
Just spend every waking moment they're not fighting, like learning other languages. Hey, I would allow that. There's clear rules for it in DMG.
No, he only knows the languages that they were programmed to learn so that they could understand.
There is a control panel. It has a few, looks like they're little switches and buttons and everything. So,
Well, we could make some random guesses.
I can try to hotwire this thing.
Yeah.
Well,
are there any particular buttons that stand out more than the others?
I mean, not really. There's about 6 buttons. A couple of them are labeled, but it's not like one's red and one's green and one's yellow or anything like that.
Are any of them like worn down more than the others on this adamantine thing?
Nope, doesn't really look like it. It's a very sturdy metal. Huh?
Can we Metal Gear Solid this? Wait a minute. Let me breathe on him. When you see the fingerprint smudges.
Take a rubbing.
Press. Give me some tape. Put some tape on it and hold it up to the light. No.
I'm coming for you, Revolver Ocelot.
F that guy. I hated him. Psycho Mantis. Is that? Oh. Anyway. Put it in controller 2.
The other controller. This is amazing. Technology.
You guys are like really old, right?
Yeah, we are.
Old.
We are. We're showing our age right now. So there's a panel here. Do you want to try to push random buttons or do you want to try to hotwire this bad boy?
I had a quick question before we get to pushing buttons. This
Okay.
is all just one long piece of metal, so I'm assuming?
It's a cylindrical landing. Imagine like a landing. There's something on the other side, probably the forge itself. You are just basically flying up underneath it. And so it's a cylindrical landing on the bottom side of an inverted pyramid that is hollow that you just flew through. Should have had a picture made of this. It's very...
Okay. Can we is it clear? Can we see inside of it?
No. It's metal, but y'all are at a doorway that passes through it, and you're trying to figure out how to hotwire the door to open this doorway to be on the other side, as opposed to just like flying around and landing.
Trey, we're flying into a Pink Floyd album cover.
Yes, you are flying into. There's a reflection of rainbow light off of the landing itself.
Okay, I'm with you. All right. Then, when in doubt, press the first button you see. Preferably the one on the top.
Can I try to like pick this lock? I mean, is that like it works or?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think what this would be. Give me no, you would hate an intelligence-based thieves' tools, or would you?
Not as much as you would think.
Okay, give me an intelligence-based thieves' tool, because you're just like, there's only a few wires that come through here, and you've messed around with you've seen them mess around with E's wiring enough,
So roll plus ability modifier plus proficiency.
Yep. Int plus proficiency for your thieves tools to kind of try to see if you can hotwire this bad boy.
Roll to 10 plus 3 plus 4, 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, you hear a loud like clang, and you hear the door kind of shift a little bit. It doesn't completely move, but if you look over, you can see that there are little creases of light kind of and sunlight is coming through. So whether you just kind of maybe like partially opened it or maybe unlocked it.
Ellery would just sit there and go, touch his ear. There's nothing there. 3PO, tell E404 we need them down at the bunker. What?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I got it open a little bit.
Oh, well, I am right here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need?
We got it open a little bit. Can you move it the rest of the way?
I could try.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, y'all all heard this. It was a very loud metal clank, the clank of like locks like popping off internally. And so, yeah, you see this thing. It looks like it just kind of rotates and shifts open. You would have to kind of hop down like about a 5-foot drop down onto the door itself and try to start prying it open if you wanted to. But
is this like End of Aliens type of door? Like, is this, if it opens, is this going to be like a drop? Like, are we?
No, you don't think so. I mean, this is typical space rules. Y'all are on the bottom side of this, so you're standing on it, right? But that's, you don't know yet, but that's the plane of gravity, right?
Is there sunlight popping through it? Like if we open this door, we're gonna melt?
No, I mean no more than when you were flying up here. I mean it's kind of warm here. I mean, like y'all are sweating. It's if you stayed here too long, it would be very uncomfortable and you'd have to start making Constitution saves. But you're fine right now. I'll say that. E404 doesn't care.
I'll give everybody a prestidigitation, cool breeze, back of neck, taint, whatever you need.
Ellery magically blows on everyone's neck.
Feel better? Tell me if you get too cold.
No. I'm glad E doesn't have to care about the heat.
Yep. So yeah, E, if you're gonna hop down there, give me an athletics check. Try to pop this thing.
Cool.
I believe in you, E.
That's a 27.
Okay. Okay. So like E pops down there and like, there's a few cracks of light and he just kind of like gets down between one of these cracks and starts wrenching and the door itself starts breaking open in almost like a 8 kind of curved pie pieces that are rotating back into the landing itself. And yeah, E, you just kind of start pulling one of these kind of doorways and it slowly starts cracking open. I mean, you don't have to open it all the way to in order to pop through unless you wanted to try. But with that, I mean, once these doors are unlocked, you're strong enough with that roll.
Yeah, so E will slowly crank it open enough so that there's enough room for them to go through because they're the biggest one. And then we'll just stand up and turn. Is that enough?
Hell yeah. Where there's smoke, that's me. There's fire, that's you. Let's do it.
You can't have smoke without fire.
Exactly. Let's go.
Okay.
He's not sure where that connection was, but was like, okay.
He was looking for a tag team name. He came up with Smoke and Fire.
Yeah, he's just like, okay.
Sounds great. Okay. So do y'all just kind of like crawl through the doorway or do you get on your eagles and fly through? How are you going to do this?
Hilda's gonna fly. She's a lazy dwarf.
Okay. Hilda, you kind of take off and you are flying you're flying towards this sun, right? And you were standing on this thing. So that means you're flying down towards it. And then as soon as you breach the portal itself, you immediately feel gravity shift and kind of pull your stomach back towards behind you, and the eagle kind of levels off, and you are in this wide open space. It's kind of bowl shaped. It goes up at the edges, and it's very bright. It was almost like it reflects the light back up. But in the middle here is kind of an island on just on the side of the door where you are. There is like an island almost. It's not as bright and reflective, but it looks like you were a forge cleric at one point. This looks like a workstation, right? There are drafting tables over here. You see some vats down here that looks like they're maybe like human size, very old. And I would say, Hilda, there's like a ping of like some kind of recognition, something you can explore later if you'd like. But just looking at it at this vat, you're like, I've seen something like that. But there's also, a regular like a forge, and then a staircase that kind of leads up off to the edge, where you see a woman standing on this platform that leads off to the side, and it looks like she's like casting some kind of magic up away from this landing, and you see like a couple of plates overhead come together and start to suffuse. You see Warforged on the bottom walking on them it's about 100 feet up in the air, almost like a weird metal cloud cover, as they're forging these two plates together and start welding it. And at the bottom of that staircase, you see a blue-robed figure flanked by, looks like 4 military guards, and leaning on the wall, kind of behind him, is the queen. She's tied up. She's kind of crumpled on the floor. You're not sure if she's conscious or not, Hilda, as you just kind of see this scene. But yeah, so that's kind of the scene you see, is as you're in kind of this. It's almost like one of those satellite dishes or like radio, like space, like antenna, right? And you're just off to the side here in this little like work area.
Does it seem like anybody has noticed what we've done?
I mean, no, as you kind of fly up and like are looking around, like these guys are off to the side and they're all like sitting there, hands on weapons. The guy in the blue robes, he's just sitting there calm as a freaking spring day. And they're looking right at you. I mean,
okay.
They all see us?
Yeah, I mean, they see you. They see Hilda come up, and then I assume y'all follow through. Yeah.
I want to cast thaumaturgy, and I want the effect to be that my voice booms 3 times as loud as normal for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, give us the queen, you motherfuckers.
We won't quite do that. You can come and talk, though. And he kind of yells that out. You just barely hear it over the kind of the roar of the workings that are going on above your head right now. As you're just kind of like in the shadow of these plates above you. So it's actually kind of a little bit cooler right now that you're not in the direct light of the sun.
How far away is the queen from the hole that we just emerged from?
We all just came like, there's like a hole here and you kind of flew up through, and just to the side, now that you're flipped on the other side, the portal itself, is below you. So this is just like right on the edge of the portal itself. And this work area is maybe like 200 feet by 100 feet. And they're at the furthest edge away from you as y'all kind of come up. And are you still flying? Are you going to land?
Ellery would like to hide as soon as he can get down to the plane that the blue robe guy is on. He's going to.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just a little workshop off to the side of this portal. And there's plenty of places. Like I said, there's a drafting table. There's a whole forge set up. There's a couple of these chambers. Looks like more of a research area. The typical almost mad scientist. Beakers over Bunsen burners, bubbling liquids pouring from one chamber to another. That's all off to the side. But she's on the other. There's someone on the other end of that whole work area. On kind of a landing that rises up and closer to the sun itself. So there's plenty of places to hide over there. Sorry, that was way too much description for your question.
No.
How many eagles did we bring in total for us to get here?
There's 5 of you. There's the 4 of you and the Queen's commander, the commander of the Queen's Guard, Zico. He is with you.
Okay, and all of us have our own birds. So there's 4 birds?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 5 if you count Zico.
Yep.
Okay. And the only eagle that's come in is Hilda's?
Well, I assume y'all have followed behind. I mean, you didn't say, but
Okay.
If you would like to follow through, by all means, you see the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're cool. Most absolutely. He is concerned with the safety of his. So he would fly his bird in as well.
Okay. And y'all land, or are you? What's the plan here?
I'm gonna stay on my bird.
Yeah, da cool. If he's if his mother is only a couple hundred feet, how much movement do our eagles have per?
60 feet per round.
60 feet per round.
Well, they have a 60-foot move. So,
right. Dakul is going to move 60 feet closer. He's focused strictly on his mother, and he's going to ask, "Mother, can you hear me? Are you okay?" He's really not as much concerned as he should be with
You yell that out as you're approaching on your bird.
Yes.
Okay. And the man with the blue robes kind of looks, and we should really talk, you and I. And as he's just talking, Dakul, on your bird, give me a dexterity save. Because as he's just talking, he doesn't make any motion or he doesn't talk or anything, and you see just a mote of light kind of hover out, and then there's an eruption of fire.
Okay. That's a 10. That's 19.
Okay. You are okay, but it's only because you kind of pull your bird up and your bird takes the brunt of the explosion as a fireball goes off. Now, you have evasion, so you don't have to worry. And I'm not going to roll it, but your bird, the whole bottom of your eagle is melted, and it kind of, you feel it, the power cells within it die, and it kind of just tumbles to the ground. And you give me an acrobatics check.
That's a 26.
26. Okay. Yeah. You managed to, you perfect, whether you want to roll or you just want to land, perfect superhero landing. And your bird though is almost reduced to slag as you see it kind of melted a bit. And it kind of crumples in a heap. And you're still,
how far away am I?
You're still about 60 feet away from this guy. And he kind of meets your gaze. And it's the same as I described to Ellery's, kind of very pale eyes. You have silver eyes, but his are pale, the color of sour milk pale. It's unsettling to look at him. And he just kind of looks and he's like, Dakul, we can talk. Let us talk, you and I. We can take up arms eventually.
Look, my mother. How would you like to talk now? And all this time, Dakul, his eyes are focused on Mom. I mean, he's having this conversation, but he's looking at Mom.
Okay. And I mean, looking at her, it looks like she is at least unconscious.
Mother, can you hear me? Move.
And again, there is no response. Like, you don't see any movement. As again, she's kind of slumped against the wall, head tilted forward, her hair's a little bit draped in her face, and so.
You kidnap women, try to poison them, stir her from her day to day, and now you want to have a conversation. What is it that you want to speak with me about?
Oh, she would have been just fine. You see, we laced her cup with the antidote, so it would have just killed everyone else in the room. That's how you stage a coup. You need to get rid of everyone, except those that you need. You are quite formidable. But I am here to talk to you, at least until my patron arrives. For you see, he is who seeks you, Daku.
Pruitt, how close am I to this guy?
And you, Ellery.
Ellery's hidden. This
Yeah,
guy
you're
better.
hidden, but well, he kind of looks around, you know. But so you're probably about. I mean, if you hit over by the vats and the anvil and everything off to the side, you're a little bit behind where Dakul is, who's about 50 feet away. So you're probably about 60 feet away, kind of a little off to the side.
I want to get closer.
Okay, give me another stealth check. Because here's the thing, it is still very bright here. Y'all are like right on, like you have a little shade from the workings above you, but even it is casting light that kind of flickers from time to time, and there's sparks that kind of fall to the forge area here.
Would a 31 be all right?
That's 31 will do just fine, as you manage to see a few shadows cast, and you kind of duck inside those, move a little closer. But again, he looks very calm, non-committal, but it was only a matter of time till we got to this place. I had not planned to do this for a while, actually, until you showed up.
Oh, are you insinuating that I am the catalyst of all of this madness?
Well, your arrival did throw a wrench in the timetable.
You should speak quick. My patience is wearing thin.
Well, I mean, I've done the best I can with such rushed circumstances, but when your patron commands you to do something, you do it, or you lose the power given to you. I don't know if you've ever had such arrangements, but they can be bothersome from time to time.
What is it that your patron requires from her?
Her?
From me?
From you? He requires you. And then he kind of looks, and wherever, Hilda, are you still flying? E, are you still flying? Or did you land?
He probably would have just hopped down from.
Okay.
After
Well,
opening
whether you're flying or whether you hop down and you're in this little forge workshop, he points to each of you. He's like, he requires each of you.
Before any trust can be established, conversations be held. Nobody can remain focused, especially the likes of someone like me, knowing that my mother is slumped over to the side. Allow me to talk to her in person, face to face. If you want me, then take me in exchange for her.
Well, again, we were always going to end up here, but I expected this all to happen many years down the road, much closer to the end of the endeavor, you see. But you here is just, shall we say, icing on the cake.
You are testing my patience, small man. Release my mother.
Now, DeCool, we don't want to get testy, do we? She is fine.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
Yes.
I will wake her up so you may speak with her. Is that agreeable?
It is a step in the right direction.
Very well. And he takes a step back, and he delicately lifts her head up a little bit and whispers something in her ear, gives her a kiss on the forehead, and then you see her head kind of shake off and look around, confused. And then her eyes meet yours, DeCool, and they go wide in both like happiness, followed by fear, followed by like a range of emotions that you're here, but in this situation, what's going on? There's confusion. And so she's just kind of like eyes darting to and fro. But it looks like as she kind of raises up, she is tied, bound at the wrists and feet.
Are you injured? Are you well?
And she almost like looks up at this man, Vorta. Yes, my son. Please
Do
be
not worry.
Please be safe.
No, this is all about you. Do not worry. We will find your safety. Dakul's gonna walk about 10 feet closer, slowly. Hands out,
Okay.
showing he is not a threat.
Okay. And as you do, Vorta kind of takes a step a little bit in front of your mother, not blocking her completely, but being in between you and her, as he resumes his kind of pensive pose. And it's at this moment, actually, as you are kind of standing off, you hear the cries from at the top of the landing, like up this 30-foot staircase above the floor of this area. You hear a cry of this finishing of a spell, and the caster up there finishes casting, and the beam that was being projected up finishes its trek, and that piece is finished. It's welded together, and she kind of shakes her head and begins climbing back down the stairs, as there's this tense standoff, and this small female, about just at the chin, her hair kind of comes to a point just at the chin. She's wearing very, very simple robes, but well made, not a lot of extravagance to them, but she kind of walks down the stairs and right in between the party that is holding the queen and DeCool. And she literally walks right between you, and almost as if she doesn't even notice you, and walks over to a drafting board and begins sketching something. And you see Vorta kind of like look at DeCool and then look at her and just like, Forge Masters. They only care about their work. And Ellery, she's like 30 feet away from you. She kind of walked over to a drafting table, and you see her just kind of mouthing something to herself as she's just working. But it doesn't take a perception check, but you see the distinct point of elven ears kind of peeking out from her hair, which is kind of a dirty blonde, almost brown.
Okay.
And as y'all just kind of, this standoff continues, Do you want to finish this, or may I speak with her for just a moment?
Dakul inquisitively looks at her, looks at him, and you realize he's not in a position of power. Yes, have it your way. But I am watching you.
Oh, please. I have a simple question to ask the Forge Master. And as I told your comrade, the Queen is really the only way to gain an audience. It's how we were let in. So afterwards, we can conclude our business if you don't mind.
By all means.
Oh, yes. And he walks over to the Forge Master, and he's about to kind of tap her on the shoulder, and she turns around and walks past him, and he's just kind of like, and looks like she's walking back and about to head up the stairs to cool, and that's when she kind of like stops and looks and meets eyes with you. And in fact, she is an elf. She's a very beautiful elf, but she has her hair and her features aren't unkempt, but they're slightly ignored, I guess. Most elves you've seen, they're very graceful and they're very concerned about appearances and upkeep. And she's about the first elf you've seen. It looks like she's just like one of those people that gets lost in her work. And she just kind of like looks at you and just like, and almost like looks around and notices the scene around you, her. Well, this is inappropriate. What is the meaning of this? And she's looking at you, like wondering what the meaning of this is.
There is treason going on right under your nose, and you have the audacity to ask me, the son of that beautiful woman there, what is the meaning of this? No, ma'am. You have it all wrong. Why are you aiding in such a treacherous act with kidnapping happening right here in your workspace? No, you tell me, what is the meaning of this?
And she like looks at the Queen and looks at you and looks over at Vorta and looks back at you. Well, I was contracted to build a sphere. The whole point of my contract was to stay out of the political squabblings of the inhabitants of said sphere. So, if you have business to attend with these people, by all means continue. But my work may not be interrupted for anything. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, it's clear as the oil that I shine my blade with.
And can everybody give me an intelligence check? This is just whatever your intelligence modifier is. Just roll a d20 and add that number to it.
11.
7.
18.
15.
Okay. So, Dakul, looking at this elf, you recognize her for some reason. She looks familiar. There's something about her features, like you've never met her, but maybe like a family member, like her demeanor, her mannerisms. There's something you can't put your finger on it. And you're not really sure you recognize her, but what you do recognize, like Hilda, when she first flew in, you recognize the vat that's over in the corner. It looks like kind of a neglected area of the research, like a research station that has been in neglect for a while. But the vat itself, it's like this metal and glass contraption. It could probably fit a whole person in it. But there's something about it that just rings like it's just familiar as hell.
Can Hilda fly over to the vat while you guys are talking?
Sure.
And
Okay.
look at it a little more.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So Hilda's been doing that. DeCool, what do you do with that realization? Do you do anything with it?
Yes, absolutely. This entire trip has been one of actualization and realization. The cool gathers himself for a moment, shakes the anger away, and looks at her, and walks slowly. How do we know one another?
And she kind of like looks you up and down. I don't know that I've ever seen you before. And she kind of looks at your ears. Drow. Ah, you're the offspring of the cuckold. The interloper. I knew of him here. I heard tale. Never met him.
I will pretend I did not hear the disrespect of cold.
Oh, well, I apologize. I do apologize. My social graces are not what they used to be. When you work for nearly 3 centuries building an armored shell, you have a tendency to be blunt.
You're insinuating that you know my father?
Well, I mean, in a all-human sphere, when there is a half-elf born, obviously it wasn't someone from around here, so to speak. I never met him, like I said. And no, we have not met. I do have siblings. Maybe you have met one of them. We are elves. We live quite a while. And at that, DeCool, you're almost positive that this woman is somehow related to Zofia Sill. The woman who originally set y'all on this path, the woman who helped build the Dawn Rose, the elf that sent you on your way happily, and but yes, it's something about the nose and the appearance. Zofia Sill was more, kind of kind, more or less. This woman is very kind of haughty and blunt, and she's with that immediate
recognition, DeCool would say her name, Zofia.
And at that, like her eyes go a little wide, and she's like, "You know my sister, Zofia?"
Sister.
Yes, she is my older sister. Always like she knew it all. But yes, my name is Aquiliana Sill. You may call me Addie. Most people do. And as y'all are making this realization, Hilda, you're over there looking at the tank. You give me perception or investigation, whichever one you want.
Okie dokie.
Ellery, what are you doing right now? Are you staying hidden, or are you trying to move closer? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm right where I need to be.
Okay.
Hilda got a nat 1. So she rolled a 7.
I mean, it's a tank. Looks like it holds something.
I got a nat 20.
You think you recognize it. Okay, so E, are you still, you talking about for the tank? Are you still like kind of looking at the tank?
Yes, because
Okay.
he's like doing the thing of like, I know this thing. I'm just going to keep staring at it until I figure it out.
So with the realization, when she says that she is Zofia Sill's sister, a few things click into place in E404's mind. Puzzle pieces start slamming into place. Zofia Sill, who created the Dawn Rose, this ship that can bear an individual other places, knowing that binding, technology and magics are once regular, but now outlawed. And then your own ship that you recently found, the Drift Lord, with a banshee bound in a chamber at its heart. And that is the realization as you're looking at this chamber. It is almost the same exact design. The materials are slightly different color, different, here or there, like this is a newer version. But the chamber that keeps that banshee bound is the same as this one that you are looking at.
Oh yeah, the thing that he hates so much.
And then the last piece is like, that the Forge Master was the one that showed the Halaxians how to bind the spirits of their fallen to the Warforged themselves. And she stands there, all 5'5" of her superiority, kind of just talking to calmly. If distant, you can tell as one who does calculations while they're talking to other people, you can tell, like, she's like building the next 5 panels up in the sky in her head right now while she's talking to Dakul.
He doesn't like this. But you don't want to interrupt the conversation that's happening. So I think they may just walk right over there.
Okay. So you walk right over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're still basically, she's introducing herself right now. But yes, you've probably met my sister, Zofia.
Yes, I most certainly know of her.
Yes,
I am.
She's still palling around, pretending to be a champion of the humans.
I've only known you less than 5 minutes. Your sister is much grander than you shall ever achieve.
Give me an insight check on that, Dakul.
17.
Yeah, you think you see like one of her eyes twitch when you say her sister is grander. Like you think you see like a twitch of just like anger, but she manages to maintain her mask after just that.
Yes, we are all admirers of her work, her determination, her ability to put herself above others for goodwill. Yes, a standout individual with class. As Dakul looks around in disgust at everything around here, with so much class in all of her work. I can tell who may be. She was the older sister?
Well, she said that Zofia was her older sister. Yes, she.
Oh. Okay, so Zofia is the older sister. Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell that Zofia must have been the older sister, for she took all of the good genes and bloodline and left none of it for you.
I do not know why you choose to try to incite me so. Not sure what I exactly did to you. But I will let the slight pass because I have work to do. Now, if there's nothing else, and in this whole time, like, Vorta, the guy who kidnapped your mom, has been kind of in the corner, trying to interject in the conversation, but never making to. And he's like, actually, yes, I would like to speak with Voronskaya. And she slowly turns and looks at Vorta. You do not speak with Voronskaya. That is not how it is done. And he claims, but I am his patron. He sent me here to bring them here. And she actually looks like looks back at y'all and is like, is he with you? Well, he's rather pompous. So, I assume y'all have business to deal with. Once you deal with it, you can come back to me. And we will see where we will go from there. Now, if there is no other further interruptions to the work, I will do what I was tasked with to do, and I will finish it. Pardon.
How far away from me is she?
About 30 feet.
How far back is the oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Our patron that's been accompanying us the entire time.
Zico,
yes.
Yeah, he landed and he's back there kind of, Hilda's off to the right, messing with this chamber, and you and E are right in front of him. He's just kind of at the back, kind of at support. And then to your right is Ellery hiding over along the right-hand wall amongst some of the forge apparatus.
Daku's gonna run up on her. He's gonna run up on Adil, on Adel. And as he's running, pulling his sword out, and he's glancing down at the gem that's in the hilt. And he's going to grab her and misty step the furthest distance that he possibly can to Zico.
Okay, so you want to grab her and misty step back to Zico?
Yes.
Okay. Give me an athletics check. Because this is like a grapple, and so you are like running up on her, and so she is.
You said athletics check?
Yeah, it's a grapple, so she's going to do acrobatics. It's an opposed check. I got a 15.
I got a 14.
Okay, so yeah, you run up and try to grab her, and she literally just kind of. Did she step? You're not even sure. Did she just shift? But she just, with elven grace, just kind of steps out of the way as you like go to grab her. Do you still misty step back?
Yes.
Okay. So you misty step back, and she kind of like, she doesn't look at you in anger. She just kind of looks at you at like, sweet child, what the hell are you doing? Like a grandmother would look at their grandchild who like she kind of just gives you almost like a disapproving look, and then continues to walk towards her little staircase that leads up to her platform where she conducts her forging magics. And like at that, you're the line is now kind of set in like a half moon a little bit. And you're kind of standing off there, and Vorta is just, he's like this whole time, he's just like, well, this is quite annoying. And he looks at his man, and he's like, go for it.
This whole time, within 30 feet, I've been undoing the bonds or the ropes that are around the queen with my mage hand.
Okay.
What do you need me to roll? I had a lot of time.
Yeah. Give me an acrobatics check. I know it says you can't do fine manipulation, but it's just more about trying to grab the right rope with your mage hand and pull in the right direction. And to me, that's kind of a slightly meticulous, but not quite.
19.
So, yeah, you managed to kind of, I guess sleight of hand would have worked, but it's the same thing really for you.
19 still.
Yeah, you managed to pull a few of her ropes, and you see her kind of like working free. And you, like Ellery, you see that she's kind of like looks up and like gives like a thumbs up as she's holding her hand still, but you can tell that the ropes are loose around her wrists. but it looks like she's kind of maintaining, status as prisoner.
And now Vorta, is he acting aggressively towards us, or is he just irritated?
He looks very irritated at being ignored. Because when he talks of his patron giving him this quest, and yeah, nobody's like paying attention to it, and he's starting to get kind of frustrated. But he kind of once again steps into the middle where he's flanked 2 guards on each side, and he crosses his hands and looks at his guards and looks at y'all and is like, "I don't want to fight you, but we can. My patron should have been here by now." And he just kind of like looks around, like frustrated almost.
Who is your patron?
And he just looks up and he's like, "The very thing that gives us life, Vorta. It's what we call it. It's the essence of fire that we have tamed to craft our metal."
He has a moment of processing. So, like, the star has sentience, and they're trying to put that in their brain right now because that's giving up a lot of conflicts right now.
Yes. And he kind of like just kind of looks around. He's like, "I've done what you asked, Vorta. I've done it all."
Are you sure that you were talking to Vorenskaya?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because he gives me my power. He instilled this power within me. And you see his hand kind of like catch on fire a little bit.
I'm just gonna like do thaumaturgy. I have something I can do. I can do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say with thaumaturgy you could do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have thaumaturgy. I'm just gonna be like, that's not.
Yes, but the source of your power, what is it? That's what I'm saying, is he is the source of mine. I have done everything he has asked. He speaks to me. He tells me what to do. What he told me was to bring you here. And now I have.
You could have just asked.
That is not the way of things.
Why not?
It is beyond your comprehension. I do not ask questions of my patron. He tells me what to do and I do it.
This guy shot a fireball at us. Just remember that. Ellery jumps out. Well, doesn't jump out. He casts blindness on him.
Okay.
DC 50.
And you're casting it from hidden?
Yeah. So disadvantage as he does it from magical ambush.
That's very important. Okay. You said DC 15?
Please, yes.
And that was a wisdom save?
Let me get, I'm pretty sure, but let me. Oh, Constitution. Excuse me, Constitution.
Oh, Constitution? Oh, well, in that case, sorry. Yeah, he passes. Like you cast your spell, and he kind of blinks his eyes and looks over like where you're hidden, Ellery, as he kind of like traces the magical energies back. And he's like, very clever. So it's violence then. And go ahead and give me initiative.
Shit. One day that's going to work for me.
14.
Nat 20.
8.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be a massive 7.
Okay. All right, E404. As you almost an imperceptible nod. I'm just going to say, since you were kind of just staring at him this whole time, you see this kind of slight nod, and his men are like lean forward as their swords start coming out of scabbard. So, but you kind of see the tip off. So it's you're first, followed by.
Cool. How far away are they from me right now?
They're about DeCool teleported back. About a move action.
Okay, I'm going to move over. I would like to grapple this insufferable bastard.
Okay. So you want to try to grapple him?
Yeah.
Go for it.
That is a 17.
17. Yeah, you run up and you wrap him up in a bear hug.
I'd probably lift him up too because I am a tall robo.
Yeah, and you grab him and you pick him up and you feel him like he doesn't seem like he's resisting.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool. I will just do that then.
Okay. Are you okay? DeCool.
Yeah.
It's all you, man.
Okay. The scaffolding that Adil is on. Adil. The scaffolding that Addie's on. Can you describe it?
So it's like a very steep staircase at the very end of this room, because imagine you're at the bottom of like a satellite dish, right? And at the very bottom, there's the hole, the portal. And right at the edge of the portal, there's this tiny little area you're in. So at the very end of one of the room, there's like this narrow staircase that goes up about 30 feet to just like a 5x5 landing, where she's just kind of like up there, almost like a when they go cut trees or work on a power line or something. It's almost just like one of those, like an elevated platform, but it's about 30 feet up in the air. And she's about halfway up it right now, just kind of like climbing up to the top to go back to her working.
Yeah, I'm going to close the distance. Unarmed attack, stunning strike.
On who? On her?
On Ed. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
A 16.
A 16?
Yes.
All right. So what's your move?
She's 30 feet away, so I'm gonna run towards her with that 30 feet of movement, and then do an unarmed strike. So
okay, well, yeah, your move is like 50 though, right?
Right. Yeah, my total move is 50.
Okay. Yeah. No, it would take all your move because it's about 30 feet to the thing, and then she's about 15 feet up. She's about halfway up this landing.
Oh. Okay. All right. Then I will use my. Oh shoot. Yeah, I'll still use my entire movement.
So I just want to be clear, DeCool. You're going to run past the 4 guards that are drawing swords and moving to attack you, and the guy that he just grappled, and attack her. I just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you got what? A 16?
Oh shit. Yes. Okay.
Well, that will hit as you kind of like right up and kind of surprise her. What's the save on that?
It is a DC 17. Let me just double. I want to double. I apologize to everybody for the delay. I got a lot going on in my head as we're fighting it out real quick. Oh shoot! Where is it? I can't find it on my list. I'm so sorry.
What's your wisdom?
My wisdom is a +5.
Your wisdom is a +5, and your proficiency bonus is what?
+4.
All right, so 9 and 8 is 17.
Yeah, it's a DC 17. Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. You kind of run up and go
It's a
and roll.
Constitution save.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage for that. But yeah, you run up and pop her in like a pressure point, like kind of there's actually one in the knee, the outside of the knee, where you can knock somebody out if you hit it just right. It pinches a nerve. Anyway, but yeah, but she manages to maintain both her footing and her consciousness as she kind of like is surprised and like lets out like a what? And how dare you? And actually goes from that like kind of like disappointed look. And Dakul, you see like a fire raise in her eyes of pure like anger, the fire of the forge. And it gets visibly warmer around her now that you have pissed her off. Or it could be just the height. You're closer to the sun. You're not really sure.
Yeah, the damage of that was a 7. So
okay.
I still have a second attack, and I'm doing it again.
Okay.
Measures. Hell yeah! That's a 26 to hit with the DC 17 con save is 17. Let's see. Come on, baby. Come on. Sleep your old ass.
So there's no yeah, that's a 20. I'm sorry. That is another hit. That is another hit though. You did hit her again. I'm sorry.
All right, so that's 5. That's 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And I still have the bonus attack. Can I still do stunning strike with the bonus attack?
You can do stunning strike with any attack that hits. And remember, you don't have to call it until you actually hit. Like it's not something you have to declare.
Yeah. So for the last bonus attack, there we go. That's a 19.
Okay. And finally, like she sees that you're continuing to punch, and at this one, she like flicks her wrist, and like a shield of energy like intertwines around her, and your last attack kind of bounces off of that.
Yeah, I am out of moves and movement.
Okay.
Since I did an unarmed strike, I do get a +2 to 8.
That is true. So, that's that. It is now my turn. E404. You're like literally have this guy grappled, and he's just kind of like sitting there, like looking at you, and you hear him just mutter a word.
Is he casting a spell?
Huh?
Is he casting a spell?
No, he is enacting a magic item.
Fucking
he mutters
okay.
the activation word, and you see the lining of his cloak light up, and it turns into smoke. And on the other side of the room, behind all of y'all, in the corner of the research, he kind of pops back up.
God damn it. All right.
And the other 4 guys, since you are the only one there, descend upon you. Okay, so I got a 22 to hit, a 23 to hit, and I rolled a nat 20 out of the attacks that come in from the 4 guys. Do the 22 hit? Yes.
How far away is Hilda from this?
You're only like a move action away because you kind of went over to that.
I'm within 30 feet.
Yep.
The crit doesn't happen.
Okay, you negate that crit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Been waiting to do that for so long.
So it is just 3 regular hits, and E, you take 30 damage as these guys come in, just flailing away with their hammering away with their swords, slashing away with their hammers. And then Attiliana herself, like, looks down the stairway at you, Dakul, and she looks you straight in the eyes and just asks you, why the fuck are you attacking me? What the fuck did I do to you?
You stood by and did nothing.
That man kidnapped your mother and you attack me.
That
she,
woman is your queen.
Yes, she is currently the queen. And like, she's literally just like walking up the stairs. She's not attacking you. She's just going back to her work. Like, all the while just kind of carrying on this conversation. And just keeps climbing. So she does not retaliate against you, Dakul, for this round. It is now Hilda's turn.
It is Hilda's turn. Okay. First, I just want to say I'm so happy I got to use the crit negation thing because I've been waiting for fucking forever. And
it's awesome when you get to use your abilities.
I know. Hilda.
So now, technically, Hilda's the closest to Vorta, the enchanter.
Yeah, I don't like Vorta. And I'm trying to decide what the best thing to do with him is. And I think I'm going to attempt to blind him.
Okay.
So he needs to make a DC 18 con save as Hilda starts murmuring and summons up some sort of otherworldly stone gray energy that comes out from her eyes and covers up his eyes for at least a moment.
And as your energy coalesces, you see him just kind of raise a hand and just make a slash. And your spell fizzles, even as it leaves your lips.
It's the tyranny of the fucking counterspell, man. Tyranny of the counterspell. Okay.
We'll be doing a video of that on the next shoot of WebDM. That's insider information just for Starward Bound fans.
It's going to be good.
The tyranny of counterspell. Yes, no, he just, like I said, he slashes it and you feel the magic crumble as it leaves your mouth.
Okay. And she'll go, oh, fuck you. And how far away is the queen? Is she within 30 feet of me? Never mind, I can't do that.
No. You're about halfway in the room. The room is pretty wide. So the queen is probably you're about halfway, so it's a good 50 feet either direction.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna take a move action towards Vorta.
Okay, so you move halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, Ellery. Dakul's up the ladder, attacking the elf forge master. There are 4 guards descending upon E404. Hilda's over here, casting spells at Vorta, and actually Zico has started to make a break. It looks like he's running around E404 in that melee and heading towards the queen. Like he's heading straight to her. So he's almost there, but hasn't quite made it.
How far away am I from Vorta?
He's now on the other side of the room. You had moved closer towards the queen. So he's actually about 70 feet away. He's like literally at the other end of the room. We'll just call it 2 move actions.
I'm gonna regular movement, dash, and then I'm going to bonus action stay hidden. He wants to get as close to him as he can within the forge equipment, and he's for somebody else to do something. I work better when I need someone else there. So I will. That's all I'm going to do. Do you need a hide roll or anything like that?
Go ahead and give me another stealth roll. You just kind of run over the forge equipment behind the chamber. Kind of jump up on the desk with all the beaker equipment.
28.
Okay, yeah, and you kind of duck down behind on the other side of that desk behind like some kind of like is it a filing cabinet? I don't know. Spell components. You're not sure, but it's some kind of chest. As you're kind of sitting there, you're still a move action away from him, but it does not look like he sees you. He's kind of focused on Hilda and the action that's happening on the other side of the room.
Okay.
We are back to the top of the initiative order with E404. E, you have 4 armor-clad soldiers raining hell down upon you.
Yeah, this is how we activate the murder robot. So let's rage.
Okay.
So rage, that's going to be automatically, I never remember how much fucking damage it is. 4 points of damage at this level of fire to all of them.
Okay.
Because they're all within melee, obviously.
Yep.
And I think we're just going to start going to town on them as the battle axe comes out, and we're going to start hitting some people, hopefully. Okay. That is a 23 to hit.
Mm-hmm. That's going to do it.
Okay.
All of their ACs are 18.
Oh, good. Okay. So that is math is hard. That is 12 points of damage.
Okay.
To that first guy, and I'm probably still standing. So that's a natural 20.
All right.
Thank you, dice, today. That is 10. That's 17 points of damage.
Further 17.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be 33 that they have taken. All right. Yeah. This one guy right in front of you, he looks very worse for where he's still standing though, but just like you've dealt him some pretty serious damage though.
Yeah. And the eyes are red. The robot's smoking.
Okay. Yep. And it's very uncomfortable standing around E44 right now.
Yep.
Cool. It is your turn. Do you continue to accost the Forge Master?
No, I am not going to continue to accost her. At that moment of her just nonchalantly walking up the stairs after my best 3 attacks, Cool realizes that he may be out of his element. However, he may be out of his physical element. He immediately turns his attention while he's still standing on the top of these stairs, right? So about how many feet above everybody else am I?
You like I said, you kind of went about halfway, a little over halfway up. So you're about 15, 20 feet above everyone else. And there, okay. you could like leap out, like there's the melee around E404. She's dealt some pretty telling blows to one of these guys, but there's 4 total. And so, yeah, they're the nearest threats.
Yeah. With an eagle's eyes and of facilitating the threat of what's E404, the Cool is with laser focus is going to pull out his bow with the fletchings in hand and aim it at the closest threat to E404.
Okay. Do you attack? Do you attack one of the guys on their side or back, or the guy in front of them that they were attacking?
I'm so sorry. Please say that one more time again. It didn't.
Of the 4 guys attacking E404, do you attack the one that they just attacked, or one of the other 3?
The one that they just attacked.
Okay.
Let's go close out one of the weaker ones.
All right.
And as he's pulling out his arrow, he's speaking loudly enough so that I hear and say, "You have all of this power that is beyond belief, immeasurable. I can only imagine what you are capable of. And yes, you sit here alone with no family and nothing but work. I'm gonna roll."
Okay.
19 plus.
And as you're saying this and firing off, she
that would be a 28 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And as he lets the arrow go, he's still talking to Addie and say, "Your sister was capable of tremendous things beyond just the giving of herself. These creatures wonderful, wonderful creations that do nothing but help and push the humanity of whatever this madness is towards a purpose. Why? How can you sit here and let a woman, your queen, be tied up by the likes of these men and do nothing? Roll for damage?
Yeah, go ahead and give me damage. Yeah. And you go and roll your other attack too, just so you know.
That's 12 points of damage. Okay.
All right. Yep. So an arrow streaks in and catches this guy in the back, and he goes down on a knee and slumps to the ground.
Dakul has no satisfaction in seeing that he's taken this man out. Trains his eye over to the next available threat, that is to E4 Ford. Pulls his arrow out, fletchings in hand, looks over at Addy again, but not with a look of disgust, but one of sympathy. Don't you want to achieve more than simple contraptions alone in the sky? Don't you want to build something great? Help us free this woman. He lets loose. 9, that's a 21.
21 does hit.
Okay. The damage on that. Oh, sorry. All right. So there's another 12 points of damage.
Okay, so another arrow streaks in and catches one of the other guards kind of in the arm. This arm kind of like, he looks up and he just takes his sword he was wielding in both hands and moves it to one. And you say this to Atiliana Sill. And she actually, instead of going back to her workings, stops as you're firing these arrows off, and then turns and looks back down at you, and you fire them off and look back up at her. And she looks at you almost just like someone who doesn't understand simple workings. I have created a sphere, something that has not been done since the dawn of time. Most people do not even know where the spheres come from. And I have been able to create one because that is what I was tasked to do. Dakul, we are all prisoners to the deals that we make. And one of the aspects of that deal is I do not in any way interfere with the political actions of this society. I am here to do a job, like I told you before. And that is what I am continuing to do, because that is the endeavor for which I was tasked. I don't expect you to understand this. I've been doing it for 300 years. It is but a season to elves, 3 centuries. It is a spring. I have spent my spring here. And I want to see summer again.
Yes. But true immortality lies in the tears of the ones who loved you. And right now, you are the name of something that could have been marvelous, but was given to the hands and turned into an abomination. That will be your legacy.
And she just kind of looks sad at Dakul as he says that. Like just a child that's not understanding a lesson trying to be taught. And E404, the barrage continues. As the So I'm not going to show you. I rolled another 20. Hilda, I don't know if you have that again.
No, you didn't do that.
Okay, so I didn't do that, but I got 2 hits, another 2 hits, so it's another 20 damage on E404. And then I am going to need Hilda.
Also, what kind of damage is this?
These guys are just wielding just blades. They're not magical.
Okay, so those are halves.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do, Pruitt?
Hilda, I am going to need you to make. Just want to make sure on this before I cast this spell.
Please say a wisdom save.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Yeah. It's a wisdom save at disadvantage.
Oh, a disadvantage.
Turns and looks at you and mutters some disgusting arcane words that slither in your ears and attempt to just wrap around your brainstem.
So my D20, I rolled 2 16s, so that's 22.
And as you can feel him try to take control of your mind itself, these inky black words just kind of turn into smoke against your pure will. And he kind of like narrows his eyes at you and almost nods his head in respect.
It's rude to say things like that. I could be your grandmother.
Okay. Dakul, you see Zico move over to your mother, and he begins taking her bonds off, and she's already started kind of getting out of them. And he is leading her back around the melee around E404. It looks like he's heading towards the Eagles. It looks like he is focused entirely on that task at hand. Hilda, it is your turn.
Hooray! How far away from him am I?
You're about because you moved last time, right?
I did.
Yeah, you're a move action away from him.
Great. I am going to move to him. And while I am doing that, I am going to up my trusty pal, Spiritual Guardians, in case anybody else gets close. And I'm just going to get in his face and look at him in his creepy sour milk eyes.
Okay. You said you're moving close and you're casting Spiritual Guardians?
I am doing that.
Okay. Yeah, as you're speaking the words, he once again raises a hand and just makes a line across.
Pruitt, that's tyranny.
It is. He's using his reaction and spell slots to cast counterspell because
tyranny. We need to clip this and put it in the show when it happens.
It's very true. It's very true. It is tyrannical. I mean, a wizard could just cast fireball like every round if they wanted to. I mean, or counterspell. I mean, it's how you want to use your spell slots, in my opinion.
Exactly. And you want to do it to make your good friend Emma sad. That's what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got these tiny hands and they're
they're wiping away even tinier tears.
They're trying to comfort me, but it doesn't help.
But it's of little comfort. Tiny, some would say. Tiny comfort.
Tiny comfort.
But yes, he once again, he as your grave diggers start coming up, they dissolve into dust as he snaps his fingers, and they all turn to Thanos' them all.
He does. I don't feel so good. We just look at each other.
Miss Hildegard, I don't feel so good.
And that's it.
I don't want to go.
I wish that was the end of the entire franchise. That would be awesome. That's all I'm going to say. Just think of how cool that would be.
Oh, it's going to be, oh, come on. Endgame's going to be freaking amazing. Don't even come at me with that.
3 hours, 3 minutes.
Oh, it's too short in my opinion.
It'll be fine. It would just be really funny if that's the way the whole thing ended.
Oh, no, I get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, you move up. Do you do anything with your bonus?
No. The only, no.
You technically didn't cast a spell.
I technically didn't cast a spell.
Because that's what I'm going to say about you attempted to cast a spell. But
okay, so it doesn't count. Do I take up the spell slot? I take up the spell slot, though.
Well, yeah. But,
so how's that work?
But what I'm saying is the spell slot's gone, but you didn't cast a spell.
I didn't.
Yeah. I know that there will be some that are like, oh, no, you did, but the magic's gone. But no, you didn't because it didn't happen.
Right. Okay. In that case, then yes, I will cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Directly behind him.
Keanu, you've fallen out of your chair 69 times. That's it? In a year?
I'm sure we missed some.
Nice.
I don't think that counter was at the beginning of the campaign.
That's true. It had to become a thing first. I get it. Never mind. What was your spiritual weapon attack number?
Oh, just say it. I have to do the thing. I was too distracted by the number 69.
Emma, you're a mother. You have to be more mature than that.
I'm sitting in my bathrobe and it's Tuesday night.
That's a falsity right there.
I know.
Yeah,
it was a completely false argument.
Yep. Yep. It's a wonder he doesn't know any curse words yet.
I know I said a couple in the last shoot, like right in front of him.
You said so many.
I don't have a child around normally. I'm sorry. The fact that I only said like 3 or 4, I think, in an entire week is a fucking miracle. That's all I'm going to say to that.
It was a fucking miracle. And he catches me doing it sometimes. And I don't know why he hasn't said it yet.
Uh-huh. He's waiting. He's waiting until there's a lot of people.
You know what he says? I don't know who taught him this, but he says, oopsie whoopsie.
First off, that's amazing. Second off, what did you get to hit with your spiritual weapon?
I got a 27.
That's a hit.
Yeah. And it's just the one. It's just the one. Yeah. It's okay. So that's 11 damage to him.
11 damage. Okay. Yeah. He takes it fully in the chest, and he does not look happy.
Good.
As you did damage to him. And kind of like looks like incredulous. Like you would dare. How dare you? It is Ellery's turn.
Yeah, Ellery's going to pop out. Yeah, Ellery's going to pop out and just stare right down the barrel of his gun and shoot. That's a nat 1, but I'm a halfling.
And you're also hidden, so it's a advantage.
Yes, but I'm going to... Nat 1s never count, so we're going back to advantage.
No, I know.
Okay, here's one of those things where we have that thing where we talk. I just rolled a... Yeah, okay. Now, if I use luck, do I get advantage again? How does that work? I just get one more roll, right? That was everybody keeping track at home. I know you can't see, but as I am an honest puck, that was a nat 1, a 4, and then a 4. 16's a little bit better. That's going to be 24 to hit.
A 24 definitely hits.
Time to light this guy up. That is 6 plus. There we go. That'll be 22 points of damage total.
22, you say?
22, I say.
All right. Yeah, you blast him with your pistol, and he takes it high on the shoulder and just like he kind of like looks around and almost looks a little shocked. Like it looks like he's like looking around the situation and wondering how it's unraveling so fast.
And since we were talking about Avengers, he's going to do a full-on Star-Lord as he dives back into the shadows. He's like, and I'm going to hide.
You fall behind the table, flipping him off, and give me, yeah, go ahead and give me that.
That's another nat 1, which I get to reroll. Son of a... Holy, okay. So that's a 21 in total.
Okay, yeah, you jump behind the table. You know, hang on.
That was some bad rolling.
You're pretty sure that you're hidden?
I'll take it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, it's E44's turn.
Okay. 4 points of fire damage to all of these guys around me as I enact my aura.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to hit again because termination protocol has been initiated. That is a 25.
25 definitely hits this guy.
Mm-hmm. And that is 15 points of damage.
All right. He's still up, but he is not happy. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They also took an extra 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks even less happy.
Good. And the next one is a 23.
That's definitely a hit.
Mm-hmm. And that will be 13 points of damage.
All right, what does this look like?
So with the smoke coming off of E and just that heat wave, can see that almost a trail as E turns and leading with the battle axe just lops this guy's head right off.
Okay, yeah. Come across whatever. Head pops off. 2 remaining guys. Hang on.
And the head will turn, not the body, just the head will turn towards whoever the next guy is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. They actually, because I just rolled their morale. They like you look at them and like you see them like look at each other. They're sweating as you can see their face is kind of burnt, nose is bright red, and cheeks are red from your freaking aura. And like they both kind of like look around and look at you, look over at y'all's eagles, and like they both make a break for it. And it looks like they're trying to run to go get to y'all's eagles.
Opportunity attack?
You can make an opportunity attack on one of them.
Cool. That's a 26.
Yep, that's a hit.
That is 10 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, you catch him across the back as he runs away, and it bites deep. You find a crease kind of in his armor. Blood flows free, but they do run away. Cool. You see these 2 guys. Looks like they're making a break for it towards y'all's eagles. In the distance, you could see Ellery like pop a shot off on this guy. It looks like he was not happy. And also like Zico has almost made it to one of the eagles with the queen.
Okay.
Just so you know, and that's kind of the scene as because you're still up 20 feet. Right. And above you, Atiliana, she's gone back to casting. Like she's casting more spells, doing her work. So it's all you, man.
So is there anybody in pursuit of the queen? I know the other guys broke because of fear, but are they trying to save their own souls, or does it appear from
y'all kind of landed, y'all kind of landed your eagles halfway, like in the middle of the room, and they're just kind of spread out just randomly. And so it looks like Zico's like heading over here to the far right. They're like, from your angle, you can see they're almost running parallel courses. They're not even looking over at Zico and the queen.
Okay. All right. But they are trying to take the birds though, right?
No, it looks like they're heading straight for the eagles, yes. And they'll be there next round.
All right. Dakul pulls another arrow out. And he puts it in the bow, pulls back. And he says one last thing before he lets go, because he knows that Addie still may halfway be paying attention. And he said, "I'll leave you with this. It is a good thing your sister spawned a child. Maybe not of blood, but Ellie will help continue a noble legacy that you could not." And he lets the arrow go. 10 and 9 is a 19.
19, you shooting at one of the guards or?
Yeah, well, just one of the guards. Just one of the guards, the closest one that's heading.
Okay, the one on the left or the one on the right?
The one on the left.
Left, okay. How much damage you do? Because 19 is a hit. Their AC is 18.
It's not much. So it's 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And he's still standing there, and he's not even gonna look back at Addie anymore because he's done with her. and he's going to leap off of the side of the staircase that winds up towards Vorin. Not Vorin. Vorta. Towards Vorta.
Okay. Yeah.
And can I close the distance?
Well, he's on the other side of the room. Like he's like 100 feet away from you.
Okay.
So you still have your other attack. I mean, you could shoot an arrow at him if you wanted. You still have your second attack.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I was gonna use Step of the Wind to engage. Yeah, I still am. If I use Step of the Wind to engage and I connect, will I still be able to use it as use Stunning Strike to go along with it, or does Step of the Wind void the Stunning Strike out?
So you want to do a melee attack after you did a ranged? If you use Step of the Wind,
I still have one attack move. I haven't used the movement.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you do an unarmed strike, I will let you do it.
Okay.
And yeah, you would have to use Step of the Wind in order to get all the way over there.
Yeah.
But yes, I would allow you to do an unarmed strike.
All right. So Dakul jumps off of the side of the railing of the staircase, nimbly hits the ground, closes the distance.
Do you do this running? Do you do like this right here?
The Naruto run, yes. For an unarmed strike against Vorta.
Everybody knows when you run that way, you run like 10 miles an hour faster. That's what the movies taught me. And you can run on walls too. Hey, Crouching Tiger was my jam. Okay, that was like a martial arts Bible of a movie.
Okay, all Kingdom fans that watch that, did you notice when the zombies ran towards you? They were doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the part.
It's still there. It's still in the back of that rotted mind. But
it's all about the aerodynamics, man.
Yep.
The unarmed attack was an 18.
An 18 to hit?
Yeah, I don't know what that hits.
Okay.
I don't know what his armor.
Luckily it does, because he's already used his reaction, so he can't cast a shield. So yes, it does hit.
Woo! All right, Stunning Strike. Okay. That does 8 points of damage. He's got to get that con save of 17 for that stunning.
All right, here we go. He's got a D. I rolled a 16. I have a +5. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. No, that's what it is. Hey, I still get my +2 to AC though. So
you do. Yeah, you do that. But yeah, I mean, he is a sorcerer and he has an okay con. So yeah, Dakul, that's you. It is now my turn. The other two guys, they're running towards their eagles, and they're trying to get them going. But the eagles are kind of resisting them right now. This guy right now, Vorta, he's sitting here looking at Dakul, and he's looking at Hilda. And I'm going to need a wisdom save at disadvantage from both of you.
18 and a 7, so a 7 plus my wisdom 5. That's a 12. Ooh.
Yeah, 14 and a 20, so it's a dirty 20.
So would you get Hilda?
Dirty 20.
Okay, you're fine. Dakul?
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay, yeah. He kind of like brings his hand up and he just looks at you and he's like, shh, just wait there a second. And he like says that, and Dakul, you like freeze in place. Hilda, you kind of feel you feel that magic kind of slither in your ears and try to like seize your movements. And you manage to kind of just, again, shake it off. But Dakul, you are frozen, and he does begin to move away from you, Hilda, to try to put some distance in between you two.
Is he? Can I hit him?
He did not use an action to disengage. He just starts moving away from you.
I'm gonna attempt to beat him by the body. 22 to hit.
Okay, yeah, 22 hits.
Okay. 12 damage.
All right. Hilda, yeah, when you hit him with this hit, as he's moving away, you strike him on the shoulder. And the oddest thing happens. He has a little blood from a few of the wounds that y'all have given him. But as you strike him, instead of blood flecking off, you see what looks like sparks. And then a lick of flame kind of comes out of the wound. And he kind of like turns and looks and you actually see confusion in his eyes as you do this. But he continues to move away. It is Hilda's turn.
How far away is he from me?
He's only a move action away.
All right. I'm going to follow him.
Okay, y'all do whatever. I got a hair in my contact right now. I'll be right back. I'm trying not to scream.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Oh dear. I'm
Hey,
going.
so like, what does it mean when every gamble you take goes to shit?
We're playing Dungeons
Like
and
every
fucking Dragons.
single one.
Yeah, that's D&D.
It happens sometimes.
Okay, so this fucker, I hate him so much.
Yeah. did.
He's one of those people that I would punch in real life.
A throat punch. Those are the best ones. The throat. Yeah.
Just
We're gonna light
anyway.
him up.
So he's doing some weird. He's trying to get away. There's some weird shit going on with him. So
Well, he's acting like he's half or partially one of those. What are those? Who's I'm terrible with names. The one woman that we got from the factory who's like half construct. What's her name?
Oh,
TK?
yeah, like TK. TK 47.
Mm-hmm.
Remember they had the things in their hands and they had like the augments that were all through them that were like robotic and psionic, and he's bleeding this negative psionic energy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's checking our box.
Right?
Shit.
I mean, not with us in this battle, but she's on the planet. Like
She is.
She's on the sphere.
She and
Yeah, she's on the
the Vice Admiral and Isaac.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. I'm trying to remember. But anyways, so this guy's bleeding out shit that he doesn't know he's bleeding out, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is going into he's going to fucking explode if he takes too much damage.
It's possible.
Boy, oh boy. It's a good thing when you have an invasion.
Because there's something there with the fact that his patron, quote unquote, is not responding.
Except maybe it is with all the fire shit.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's like maybe it's manifesting through that.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Greg. The fire that came out is not psychic; it is real fire.
Kiana nailed it on the head. There's no mention from the patron, but the patron wanted us to be here, knowing that we were going to kick this guy's ass, and this guy was going to blow up and take us out anyway. So that was just a trap to get us here to kick this guy's ass. So yeah.
And the thing is that if this happens here in the forge, there goes the forge master and the building.
Mm-hmm.
And also keep in mind, you might be down one eagle because I could only shoot one.
Yeah, motherfucker.
So we might possibly two eagles. So,
all right.
Let's throw this guy out of the sky.
Just toss him the fuck out.
Hilda, it is your turn.
Yeah. Hilda. Hilda's going to shoot him. Help!
Yeah.
He's move actually. I'm going to shoot him with a guiding bolt, and then I'm going to close in on him. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, you're gonna hit him with a guiding bolt. Give me that attack.
Yeah, I'm going to hit him with a 3rd level guiding bolt. Does a 28 hit?
Yeah, 28 hits him.
Oh, good. I have to roll this many times. Just a second. I can get some more.
I'm gonna power through this, but my eyes are killing me right now.
Oh shit.
I was not able to get the hair out. Took my contacts out, but it's still there.
Oh shit. I'm going to use my Tribe Comics and Games dice.
Do it.
Along with my extra dice.
Murder him.
10, 15, 17.
You did how much?
That was half. 17 is half of it. 27. 27. Plus 9 is 36 damage to him.
Okay. So what does this guiding bolt look like when it hits him?
I think it looks.
Where were you aiming?
I was aiming for his heart. And I think it just looks like a sort of shadowy gray javelin.
Okay.
Like a harpoon or just something like nasty because he has angered me.
Yeah. So Hilda just throws this shadowy javelin of the grave, and it pierces right through from back to front. And as it does, you see a plume of like fire, like shoot out about 10 feet on either side as he like gets hit and turns and kind of pirouettes a bit. And this fire just kind of like spins with him as it kind of builds out of his chest. And it looks like he like pulls his hands up to try to keep it in like he would like maybe like his vital organs or something. And the jet of flame literally just melts his hands off as he brings them up to his chest. And he like screams in agony that is then choked. And he drops to his knees and kind of slumps to his back. And as he does, like you see his chest kind of bulge and split, and the fire just bursts out of his chest. In this bellow of flame, you see almost like a shadowed figure like stand up out of him. And you realize it's not shadow, but it's like some kind of magma armor over this creature of pure fire that stands up and like looks around and peers with these fiery pinpricks of light as it surveys everyone around and looks at Hilda and then over to Dakul, who Dakul, you feel yourself freed from his magic as soon as he perishes. The hold spell on you is banished. But this creature like looks around, and you've never heard a flame laugh until today, as it kind of chuckles, a crackling, smoky chuckle as he served his purpose. The question is, who should I sell you to? The Air Duke or the Illithids? Both would pay handsomely for you. Who indeed? And I'm sorry, we're going to call it for tonight. Because my eye is fucking killing me right now. And we got 20 minutes left, and I don't know how long this is going to take. I really did want to finish up, but at least we got to that point. As this, maybe you've seen a fire elemental before. Not sure you've seen one of this stature. It stands about 15 feet tall. Looks like it's clad in magma armor, like full plate, like a breastplate, and like gauntlets, like greaves that just kind of float in its body of its flame, and this kind of Spartan helmet, and it like flicks two flaming swords out as it stands on guard looking at Hilda and Dakul. And we will leave off there. So let's go around to cast and crew. Sorry for the early end, but I have to go try to pluck a cat hair out of my eyeball. Greg, how are you doing, sir? And how are things?
I'm sorry you have that, buddy. I just want to say that when we get into this fight, when we reconvene, I want when E404 launches at this thing with their own fire going out, I want Immigrant Song to start playing as I mean, it's good. We got to get the lead out. We got to get the lead out as soon as this happens. So
goddamn right.
I'm looking forward to it. This is a bit beyond Ellery, but I love playing that way. I just love it. Great game. Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim team on the Twitch. Check us out here. Check us out there. We're all over the place. We'll be back on Sunday for a little Highlander action. Pick up where we left off before the power left my house, and we'll get to see what happens with the Roman and the Celt and what happens at that dance. Until next time, though, friends, take it easy.
Yeah, we got to finish that dance. See what the haps is. Next up, Emma. How are you? Are you doing okay? Suffering under the tyranny of counterspell?
I am oppressed. For one, I am oppressed. However, I'm also a little bit genuinely nervous. I have very few spell slots left, and there's a magma man who wants to sell us to people. And that's not good. But this was a totally like edge of your seat fight, and there are so many ways it could have gone worse. Despite betrayal of my good friend and dungeon master by casting counterspell on me when it would be cool if he didn't. Other than that, I am Emma Lambert. I am the comms director for WebDM. If you like this show, you should check out our other shows on Twitch. We don't have a Land Between Two Rivers this week, I believe, because several people on that show are going to be at PAX East, including Jim Davis and including me. We will be there. There will be Lost Girls on Sunday, which I won't be there because I will be at PAX East, but Kiana will be there, I think, and it will be awesome and crazy. They're going to the fucking future, so you should check it out. And other thing to say is I'm on Tales from the Mist on the D&D channel until April the 12th. So come out and see that if you like spooky Ravenloft D&D. I have what is probably the most fucked up character I've ever played, and that includes a character that I'm playing on the Lost Girls who's a communist vampire who thinks all humans are livestock. This one's way more fucked up than that. So please check it out. That's on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central, but not this week, but next week. And next week is April 5th. That's my birthday, so you have to come because it's my wish for my birthday. Yes. Thank you so much. I love this game, and I'm glad to be back.
Yes. Worse than Brondel? Really?
More fucked up than Brondel, not worse.
Okay. Because Brondel is the fucking worst.
Brondel's the fucking worst.
Anyway. Next up, Trey. How are you? You doing all right?
Man, I'm managing, you know. I feel like I'm that guy you should never take to Vegas ever. Cause you'll crap out, man, and you'll go home broke. It just don't work out for me like that. Hopefully next week, you know, we'll have some better luck. Man, what a crazy, amazing journey I've been on. I kind of feel like that Cool's a bit of a bully for picking on a little ancient elf and talking shit and trash when she just wants to kind of do her own thing. But at the same time, I'm like, whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? You're just gonna sit there and let the kidnapping happen? What? I don't know. But you know what do I know? All I know is that I'm Trey. I played that cool. They have Kenzie Monk. I'll be here next week. Oh man, before I jump off, big shout outs to the Highlander game, man. I got a chance to check out some of it before nature happened. I had a ball, man. It was a really good time, man. So props to that. And of course, the lovely, absolutely amazing women of our crew. I am absolutely going to come and support your shows as well. Thank you all for being patient, and a huge shout out to everybody that's been paying attention and watching us. See y'all next week.
Awesome. And Kiana, rounding out the crew here.
Oh man. Um Whew, boy. This was fun. I always like when I get to be a little creepy with E, because that's always fun. I like seeing your facial expression when, when they go murder Bobo. It happens. It's just coded into them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but man, I can't wait for next week. Thank God I have fucking fire resistance.
It's gonna be important.
Cool boy. Just saying, might be an important thing. Yeah. So until then, you guys can find me over on Twitter at KianaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing because I'm over the internet playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. You can find me back here on WebDM on Lost Girls, our Sunday Vampire Cipher game. Super dope. I cyberpunked vampired and I just went into the computer systems and traveled through the entire city via power cords and then became immune to fire. So, it's fucking wild there. It's fucking wild. And next episode, we're going to the future where humans are livestock and vampires rule. It's going to be great. But yeah, make sure come follow me on Twitter. Go check out Tales from the Grim. Then the Discord there because I'm part of the team. And we'll figure out what we're doing next week.
Yeah, see how all this shakes out. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I, of course, am one half of WebDM Pruitt. Come see me over tomorrow on Encounter Roleplay for Call of Cthulhu and for Adventures in Middle-earth. And then on Friday for Octone Cthulhu. And then, of course, for Sunday for a little bit of Highlander and see how that dance finishes off. Other than that, I love you out there. Please visit our sponsor, tabletoploot.com. WebDM15 gets you 15% off there. So please support them. And until next week, as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.